Wonderful groomers, pet stylists, and canine cosmetologists. You found the Traveling Groomers podcast, where we discuss lessons learned from mobile and house call grooming. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Bear Anthony. Any moment now, we'll be joined by my co-host and friend, retired mobile groomer and educator extraordinaire, Mary Aquendo, and very likely a special guest to help us chat about all things grooming, grooming industry related, and just plain fun digressions that I will totally wrangle back to topic. Grab those travel mugs and climb aboard to see where today's topic will bring us. Let's roll.
Okay, so welcome to another episode of the Traveling Groomers podcast. Our guest today is Alex Hammersla. Is that, am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, you said it right.
I never knew if I was saying it right. I was just hoping.
Yeah, like coleslaw.
I was like, okay.
Okay.
Now I'm picturing making coleslaw with a hammer, and it's quite messy.
Ooh.
But
Like Gallagher with the water.
right, exactly. I was exactly thinking like Gallagher. Like Gallagher with a cabbage. Yeah, okay. No one who hears this will ever mispronounce your name again. So there's applause.
All right. So, Chris, what episode number is this?
Welcome, lovely listeners, to episode number 204, recorded on March the 7th, and it'll hopefully be airing on March the 22nd. I say hopefully like that because there's a lot of trade shows between now and the 22nd, like 2. So maybe.
Possibly.
We'll try. We're trying.
We've got the Atlanta Pet Fair, which literally we're going to be packing and leaving. I'm leaving tomorrow night because I got a red eye to Atlanta.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm really going to be begging the airline gods for that first class upgrade. So
Yeah. I'm flying in Thursday morning, but I have to get up like pretty early in the morning to go drive to the airport. So,
well, technically,
Yeah,
I'm
same.
coming in Thursday morning as well.
yeah. My flight is not quite as long as yours.
Well, you know, the problem is that flying from West Coast to East Coast.
To East Coast.
I'm a Delta girl. I love the service on Delta, and if anyone is going to get an upgrade, it's me because I have all their freaking flyer, silver medallion, whatever. Okay, so
Got all the points.
crossing my fingers. But anyway, in order for me to fly out to Atlanta, going West Coast to East Coast, all right, I either have to take a flight that'll get me in like around 10, 11 o'clock in the evening, or take a red eye. And I don't have a whole lot of choice, you know,
Yeah.
other options. And I can't run the risk of coming in late when I'm teaching at 8:30 in the morning the following day.
I do the same thing when I come home because I'm East Coast. So when I come home from a West Coast show, I always leave the Sunday night and take a red eye because I feel like if I don't, I lose an entire day. Like I blink and the day is gone. Like it's a 3-hour flight ish if it's nonstop. But then you got a 3-hour time difference. I'm like, no, I can't. I can't. I need my day.
I can't get with the red eye. It's not happening. I can't do it.
If you see me on Thursday and I look like a zombie and I'm not acknowledging anybody, it's not that I'm ignoring you. I probably have 0 functioning brain cells.
Yeah.
And ever little brain cells that are actually functioning in my head to, like, I don't know, breathe, you know, taking oxygen, physically walking.
I can't imagine doing it after a show like Groom XOS, like how crazy all of it is, and just like your mind is like going nuts, and then taking a red eye home, and then like not having any time to process any of that.
Yeah.
Like I feel like my like travel day like I have like a, getting back from the West Coast, like I'll do it the next day and I'll have that whole day to just kind of like, okay, we're just going home and that's all we need to worry about today. Like it's more, I don't know. I can't imagine doing that. It sounds
See,
horrific.
I can sleep anywhere.
That's for you.
That's a gift.
My husband can get on a plane, I'm on a red eye and sleep the entire way till he gets to his destination.
Wow.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm-mm.
I will sleep, although coming back from Groom Expo West the other week, I was actively annoyed because I had an aisle seat, which is misery.
Ugh.
And then people had to use the restroom. And I'm like, did you wake me up for this? Just,
Oh, no. If I'm doing a red eye, I'm grabbing a window seat. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's less interruptions. However, I don't sleep well on a plane, but you know what? I'm always willing to try something. And it's not alcohol because alcohol will keep me up. So it's not like, grabbing a glass of wine before the flight and, I'll be, because I'm a lightweight and, be knocked out. Nope. I don't know what it is.
have you tried, not that I've tried this for this purpose or much at all, it's sad, things that might be now legal in your state?
But here's the problem. No, I can't. Okay. I'm like in that small segment of the population, right? So that like that glass of wine, that'll like keep me up. Okay. If I try Benadryl, it keeps me up. If I try, I don't know, a flavored gummy. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. No, it'll probably put me to sleep. That's not going to be the issue, but I'm an extremely vivid dreamer to start off with. Yeah. That is going to put me in a whole other realm. I am going to be relaxed when I get up. So
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So unfortunately, no. And you know what? It kind of freaks me out. Okay. Here it goes. Okay. It's legal in Washington, right? But airports are federal property.
Right.
State property. So if I bring gummies to the airport, I'm afraid like the drug sniffing dogs are gonna take a beeline.
Well, I don't think they're there for drugs. I think they're there for bombs.
Whatever the reason is. I work hard to have like this professional, he's like, hey, Mary didn't make the trade show.
Mary didn't make it to Atlanta.
Yeah, what drug charges? Yeah, I'm gonna try to avoid this.
What is that, Mary?
I fucking hate people. Fuck.
She's so professional. She is. That was effort to get that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So Chris, for almost a year, since she said she was going to try to get me to drop the F-bomb on air. Okay. Well, not on air. She had to get it recorded. Okay. Meanwhile, there was 2 episodes in which I did drop the F-bomb, but it would have required her to go through, I don't know, 200 episodes to find them.
Yeah.
Anyway, it became more of a mission for her not to get it. And she tried really hard.
Yeah, Mary's very contrary that way. And you still don't know all the level of spy equipment I got to try that.
She was like, hold on, we need to take a commercial break.
That works for me, except I wasn't ready, but there we go. Now we will.
And speaking of continuing education, because we either were or will be, join the Andis world-class education team each month for live interactive virtual classes. You'll learn new and trending styles, as well as tips and tricks from some of the best groomers in the industry. Whether you're looking for basic skills, trending styles, advanced techniques, or even just ways to spark your creativity, the new Andis Grooming Education site is your source for finding what you need to create your way for success. Try new techniques, learn from the pros, and grow your confidence today at andis.com/groomer education. Traveling Groomer podcast listeners, hey, that's you, can get 25% off your first course today with the code VEGROOMING at checkout on andis.com/groomer education.
She was trying to like enlist other people to get it. All right. And I had to remind people when I was like alone with them, you do know that it is actually illegal to record me without my permission, right?
Oh, we had a workaround.
And how is that?
I'm not going to give it up. I might still need it at some juncture.
All the audio, and we haven't even discussed why we have Alex here, but okay.
Or where people might know Alex from or any of that. But
far into the podcast just yet. Okay. What does it matter? You have all the sound bites you need.
have all the sound bites I need. Oh, you sweet summer child.
Okay.
You never know. I would like to have an ace in my pocket at all times. I just want to be prepared.
Okay. So again, just want to remind everybody that it is illegal in most states to record me without my permission.
However, you have given me permission
I have given Chris permission. So if Chris
to
can
record you without your consent
yes.
or knowledge, without your knowledge, because that was
Right.
consent. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so Alex, welcome to the show.
Hey.
And Alex was wondering if we could curse.
Yes, that was an actual question she asked. Can I drop the F-bomb? Yeah.
I mean, I had to know what context.
It's a legit question. It's a legit question. I get it.
Sometimes they just slip out. I don't know. It's like 9 o'clock here. I'm getting a little tired. That's usually when they come out.
Okay, so for those who are wondering that your name sounds awfully familiar, it's because Alex used to work for Barclay Productions, correct?
Yes, I did. Yep, for 4 years I did.
Okay. And, we just want to say we love you. But
Yeah.
Too.
It's-
I'm now working for Whitmans, a grooming distributor. They have the Diamond Groove. That's my full-time gig. I am their marketing manager.
oh, nice.
Yeah. So we have a pro team. We're really focusing on education as our marketing plan. We have a grooming expo, and we also have a grooming retreat coming up as well.
Yes, and we wanted to talk about that. Chris and I have been wanting to do a retreat for a really, really long time. And, then COVID hit. We actually planned one, and then COVID hit.
And then, yeah.
I
we did.
remember that. I was a part of that group. I was really interested to see how it went. And then
went poof. Poof.
Absolute
Okay.
poofed.
All right. So, then things got crazy. We got back.
That's what happened.
That's exactly what happened. But anyway, and then so I know Whitman's has a retreat. I have a retreat coming up, and it's sort of like testing the waters on it. See, my issue with now waiting so long to do a retreat, because me personally, I didn't want to do it at an Airbnb. And I know a lot of them are held there, and I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that for a lot of reasons, one of which I didn't really care too much for Airbnbs to start off with, but I also don't want to have to clean a house at the end of a retreat. I want to say, hey, this is great. See you around, and leave. Okay.
Well, you don't have an entire program team to help clean a whole Airbnb.
And honestly, couldn't you just hire a housekeeper for that one day? Could you hire a cleaning service?
Fees and stuff for Airbnb? Like, for the most part, they do a lot of the cleaning. Like, they might ask you to strip the beds and stuff, but
I hear different things from different people. I guess on different Airbnbs that like some places have reasonable rules, and other places do not. I know where I live, there's a guy that has an Airbnb here in this community. And yeah, there's a lot of rules for that particular one.
Well, the one that the Whitmans Pro Team is at is actually for events. It has like an entire commercial kitchen. It has like a bunch of different dining areas and meeting spaces, gaming areas, and there's like I think it's like 15 or more bedrooms, and most of them are private bedrooms. I mean, it was like the perfect place for us to hold something like this. It's definitely not like a typical Airbnb.
It sounds almost like a small boutique hotel.
Yeah, basically like you rent out the entire hotel. It's crazy. It's beautiful. I'm so excited.
Yeah, where I'm holding the one I'm doing, and it's a workshop retreat. So people are going to come and you go to work. This is not playtime.
Right.
You know, you're coming there, it's hands-on, you're going to create a workshop by the time you leave. Okay. I'm holding it literally like right down the street from me. There's a casino with a hotel, and they have conference rooms, which are absolutely gorgeous. They have meals that are prepared by the chefs in their restaurant. And you know what the best part is? Individual hotel rooms. So
That's smart.
yeah.
I
I don't
like
know.
that.
And like, I literally, I mean, if I walk there, it's for me to, if I was to walk, it'd be like a 20-minute walk.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like a 2-minute drive. I border state property and then Indian lands, reservation lands. So it's pretty nice spot here.
Yeah. I really like that idea.
Yeah, you know what?
Housekeeping's included.
Housekeeping's included. That's not my problem. You know?
That's nice.
So yeah, so being of a more serious, I mean, there's lots of types of retreats, and I think before you go into them, you should know what the tone of it is. Is that a good word to use? What the tone is?
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So tell us about the Whitmans retreat, because I'm actually interested. I saw and I stole one of your ideas, by the way.
Oh, what was that?
I did, because you did a save the date. I think, damn, that's a really good idea.
Plan my own wedding too.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure Alex just stole that from wedding planning.
Probably.
So,
But here's the thing, I saw it, and I'm like, damn, why didn't I think about that? Oh, well, off to Canva I go.
That's also exactly what I use for everything.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I mean, the retreat is definitely, it's focused. It's not like a playtime thing. It is definitely focused on education. Like we have a whole schedule full of seminars all day long. We have Liz Johnston, Misty Geikus. I think I said that right. Nope, it's Getches. Misty Getches.
Oh yeah, okay.
yes.
I always say it wrong the first time. We have Kat Early, Catherine Dixon, Summer Ferguson, and then Nick Scalar. All going to be teaching about, we're going to start from the ground up, basically. It's like building a foundation for newer groomers. And it's going to start like on the very basics, like structure and anatomy. A lot of times when you go to PetSmart Academy, that's what I went through. We had like a 30-minute thing on anatomy and then like move on. But it's actually a very, interesting topic to kind of train your eye to see the different structure of different dogs. Like once you understand like what the breed standard is, you can tell, his rear end is a little higher and I'm going to, keep a little fluff over here to make his top line look straight. A lot of different tips and tricks like that. That's really going to elevate your grooms and set you apart from the shop down the road. It's really, I'm super excited about it. I'm going to learn so much.
And I saw where you were holding it, and it has that element of like, this is serious, you know, and it's something more personal. This is why I like retreats. It can be more personal, and if they're done right, you leave the retreat and you've got a skill, you've got something to take back home with you.
Yes, absolutely. And that's, I mean, we're going to give so much knowledge to all of these groomers, and me included. I'm really excited because I'm going to learn a lot. I am grooming now too, but I mostly just do Newfoundland. So I'm going to learn a lot about all the different coat types and different breeds. I'm really interested in terriers. And we're going to have, a few different terriers. We're having Kerry Blues, which like I've only ever seen like 2 in person. So that's going to be really cool. We're going to have some collies, Scotties, and really like going over things that are specific to that coat type or that group, like terriers or like herding dogs, double coats, things like that, that can be, put into your salon right away, because it's such a broad, it's not just like, okay, this is how you trim a Scotty and that's it. It's like, this is how you're going to use this on other short-legged terriers. Like, this knowledge is going to help you with so many different breeds, not just like, okay, we're going to groom a poodle and then that's it.
Right. So you have mad respect for doing Newfies.
Yeah, actually, hold on, because we're so keeping on schedule right now. We have to do, I know, it seems like
Another
they're coming
commercial?
soon. We have to do a commercial, and then I'm going to come back and be like, what the how did so let's I know when I'm on the road grooming, I want to keep things rolling along. With a 9-foot clearance, Canvey mobile grooming vans actually fit through most drive-throughs to make lunch and banking on the go a breeze. With their clean running diesel engine getting up to 5 hours runtime per gallon, you're spending less time and money at the pump. Visit hanvey.com today to configure the mobile grooming van of your dreams.
All right.
How did mostly Newfies just happen? How on earth did that happen? And at least you're going to have a really good, strong basis with being a good bather brusher.
Yeah, because that's like literally all I do.
Okay. How?
I have not done a Newfie since I worked in the shop. All right. So I did have somebody call me up and they wanted me to come out and do the Newfie. And I'm like, right from the get-go, I was hourly. And so I'm like, it's going to be really expensive for me to come out to do a Newfie. And she's like, oh, money doesn't matter. Okay. Now let's go back in time a little bit to like around 2002. Okay. And I'm like, we're probably talking, I don't know, $400. And then that intake of air, because at the time, most Newfies in shops were probably about $75, if that.
Mhm.
Charged by the hour, and depending on the size, you're talking at, this dog could be anywhere between, I don't know, 6 and 10 hours. So yeah, she declined my services.
I bet you cried. I bet you were just so
Oh,
heartbroken. How did you stand it?
It's terrible. But anyway, so yeah, no Newfie since I went mobile in 2002. So go ahead.
Well, I did a Newfie this morning, and then I'm going to do my Newfie tomorrow before I leave for Atlanta. I would say like 90% of my clientele is Newfies, and the other random dogs that I have are usually because they have Newfies and another dog in their household.
One of my good friends, gets herself a Newfie. She tells me, hey, Mary, I got a Newfie. And the first words out of my mouth were, you're not expecting me to groom your dog, correct? I'm sure I could find you a shop groomer.
I love them. They are the sweetest, nicest dogs.
Okay. Yes. No, I think they're great dogs. I personally would never own them because it's the grooming that goes along with them. But I used to groom a dog named Socks. Socks was a Newfie who was the largest Newfie I've ever seen in my life. All right. Socks was easily topped well over 200 pounds. Okay. And it took two people, literally two groomers in the shop to do this dog literally all day long. I mean, he adored two women fawning over him all day long and enjoyed it so much when the male store manager came in, he'd growl at him, go away with my women.
Well, I think a lot of the stuff with Newfies, like the, terrifying part, I do a Newfie, like the most amount of time that I've spent, like since I've got my salon, was probably 4 hours, maybe 4.5 hours was like the most amount of time. And a lot of that has to do with what you're doing in the bathtub. Like for me, I'm not wasting time brushing out a dog before the bath. Never, ever, ever. No.
Techniques have changed for the better over the last 20 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
So that dog that is now 4 hours probably was a good 8 hours back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I was there too, when I first was starting out, like I've only really honed in on these techniques, the past year or two, within researching my salon and knowing what I wanted to do, knowing that I'm only doing it, like I only groom one Newfoundland a week, and that's all I do besides like mine. And sometimes I take a week off because I'm like, this is too much with traveling and everything. But I've learned so much just in this past year. I've been going to dog shows. I've been trying to mentor under handlers. Working with the Whitmans Pro team has helped me a lot too. With my questions. Actually, there was a video that Kat Early did on bathing a cocker, and she was raking it in the tub with conditioner on it. And I was like, that seems like a waste of time. And then I did it. And it has saved so much time. Like you don't feel like you're getting a lot of hair out in the bath, but it just like, it gets the conditioner all the way down to the skin. And it also loosens up all of that dead coat too. Even if it's not immediately coming out in the bath, it's going to come out so much easier drying.
Okay. And spontaneous sponsor plug. That's why I love the Bathing Beauty.
Yeah.
Because it gets everything right down to the skin and massages it in. And I swear you've never done, I don't mean this derogatory. Don't come at me, y'all. You've not done a shedless until you've done a multi-step shedless with a Bathing Beauty. The hair that you just get out in the tub is astonishing.
Is that similar to the Save Your Fur?
Okay.
No.
That I love that nozzle.
But it's a good nozzle. It's not really.
I don't have a recent nozzle. I have the nozzle back when, I don't even remember her name, ran the company. That's a long time.
I used to have one of those. I don't know where it went, and I'm very sad about that.
Sold the van. That nozzle did not go with the van. That was a cheap old nozzle that I got from Home Depot, went with that. My original Save Your Fur nozzle. I'm not even sure what it is because I have like no use for it anymore, but it was like the point, I did have a tub put in the house because I had a husky, and need to make my job just a little easier. Washing and drying a husky. So just so everyone knows why we are like so militant today with the commercials, is that we really need to keep this to an hour, because that free dog I got 10 years ago. Okay.
Not so free now.
Holy cow. You know what? I don't know, could have a Tesla or something. Okay. So anyway, he had a massive eye infection. Okay. So he's on 2 different drops, one of which has to be refrigerated, an ointment, an antibiotic, a pill, and then gabapentin. All right. And it's very complicated, and he has to be on schedule because everything has to be spaced. And the kicker is that I'm leaving for Atlanta tomorrow night. And now my husband has to do this for like 5 days. Okay. So Chris, if you see me on the phone, like one of these things, yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's because he's calling me to bitch and moan about having to give his dog drops
Uh-huh.
and pills.
Uh-huh. That sounds really familiar. That also sounds like I'm going to hit a button. What button am I hitting? That one. So by now, you know how much I love my Evolution shears. They're the only shears I use. Check out all the options, including customizable non-swivels, at evolutionshears.com, and give Abby a shout with any questions you might have. Traveling Groomers listeners get $10 off and free shipping with the code on the road, all one word. So check them out today. Your hands will thank you. That
Okay.
button.
So we're good. We're on time.
We are absolutely,
All
for
right.
possibly the first time of any of our
And it's been a
podcasts, we're
really,
on
really long
correct
time.
schedule.
I'm like, I sent Chris a message. Listen, this dog is on so many medications. I have a schedule. There's a time that I've set. I've written out the times for my husband. And I've got the alarms on my phone, because before I go to bed tonight, there's 3 alarms set for medications.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. And then we start all over tomorrow. So anyway. So also Whitman's now has a trade show, a
Yes.
in-person trade show. All right, which awesome. I would like to hear a little bit about that. Only thing is, it's like January in Chicago.
Yes. Also that.
I'd say, hey, have Nick call us. And I'm like, I don't know, that's January in Chicago.
It wasn't that bad this time, but this year has, like, all over has been unseasonably warm. It was not too terribly cold, but also I didn't really step outside of the hotel much. Just because I never really do whenever I'm at a show. I usually eat at like the hotel restaurant like every single night because I don't get out. Yeah, so this was our 3rd year actually. The first 2 years was in Novi, Michigan, and it was at a dog show, an AKC dog show within one in Novi, and that was in February in Michigan. So that's not much better, but weather-wise, that cluster was actually canceled this year. So we were kind of scrambling to get a new dog show to get attached to. And it happened to be that the International Kennel Club of Chicago, which used to be this huge dog show years and years ago, and they kind of, shut down once one of, head person passed away. They decided to bring it back this year. So they asked us to come along, and it was so awesome. I cannot tell you, like, I was just thinking about it again today. We announced the Best in Show winners for the grooming show inside the AKC ring during groups. And I was dying.
That's awesome.
That's the first time in history that's ever happened.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was such an amazing show. It went super smooth. A beautiful location. I freaking love that hotel so much. The Renaissance in Schaumburg.
Oh, that's where the
Oh,
All-American is, right?
Yes, yeah, that's
That's
there
such
as
a
well.
beautiful hotel. That
I
really
love
is.
that hotel.
It's like extra fancy.
I know, it's so fancy. There's like TVs in the mirrors.
Yeah. They always seem to have, okay, minor digression. At the All-American show, they always seem to have at least one wedding, like super fancy event wedding.
With the wine bike, did you see that year?
The wine bike? No, I saw the one with all the cars and all the beautiful saris.
They hired some random person all dressed up in like jester attire to ride around on a bike that had like wine. It was like this big wine rack. And they just like delivered wine to your table, like on this huge, like elegant, like whimsical looking, like bike, like old timey type
Wow.
bike.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, there was no weddings going on at this one because they actually had the entire facility. So where the trade show is like when you usually go to All American, that area plus the other side too, when there's some other event, like one year it was like a aquatics expo or something. They have that entire area and that's all dog show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then the side rooms where like the wedding or the dance things are usually going on,
Mhm.
that was all seminar rooms.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah. And then the upstairs where they usually, or at All American, that's where like the seminar rooms are. That's actually where the Whitmans Grooming Expo was. So we had like pretty much all of like upstairs. And it was really nice because it didn't feel like a grooming show shoved in the corner of an AKC dog show. Like it had its own area, our own stage. You know, we had our own seating area, playing our own music. The Whitman's booth was there as well. And it was just like, it was super classy.
Nice.
Yeah, it felt a lot different from other shows that I had been to that are a grooming show at another event. It felt like its own, you know, this is the grooming expo and this is, you know, a thing that's also happening at the same time. It's not just like, oh, you know, we added that over there in the
It
corner.
didn't seem like smushed together or
Right.
tried to make some kind of weird mashup. It's like, hey, let's do this together. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really,
Awesome.
and we got a lot of people. It was a public AKC show. So we got a lot of traffic from, you know, the dog show as well, coming upstairs and checking it out. For creative, we had so many people come and watch, and like all day long, people were coming in. I was the contest coordinator, so everyone was coming up to me, like asking me questions like, how much time do they have? And like, do they put all of the color on in one day? And like, they were like asking like so many questions about creative grooming, and it was like such a really amazing experience because everyone was super like positive about
I
it, like
was
all of the spectators. Yeah,
I
like
was just about to ask because normally the people who are negative are more extra pet, but if these are closer to show people that are already used to having the dogs trained and groomed, and that grooming is just a part of their dog's life and they get that.
yeah, well, we had a mix of, you know, the AKC people, you know, that are going to dog shows, but also like public people that are coming because they had to meet the breeds there as
oh,
well.
those civilians, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
civilians, regular pet people. The Canine Chronicle actually like posted pictures of not only all of the grooming contests, but the creative contests too. Of course, that one, got the most negative comments, as they always do. But it, whatever, it got more people to look at our show. So it happens.
That works. Okay, it's that time again. It's
Oh, wow.
flying. And
It
I
is.
think that's why we're normally bad on commercials, because it's so exciting to talk to guests and we just forget what time it is. So, all right, I don't know. Here we go. I love being a house call groomer, but I hate doing laundry or worrying about asking my clients for fresh towels. Raypet has solved those problems for me with the Wet Pet disposable towel, taking up much less space than traditional cotton towels and easy to wring out and reuse. These super soft, comfy, absorbent towels eliminate any cross-contamination concerns between pets. And now their new smaller washcloth size can even help those sensitive eye areas. Great for cleaning out wrinkles gently and thoroughly. Need to keep water bowls for your clients on hand that are easy to disinfect, but hate all the room traditional clanky metal bowls take up? Or just have a very active pet? Their collapsible silicone bowl comes with an aluminum D-ring hook that can be attached to your pet's leash or anywhere else in your van for easy storage. You can get one by itself or in their handy travel kit, along with a set of 3 tick removers and 1 small wet pet towel. So stop by their website to check it out, raypet.net, and tell them the Traveling Groomer sent you. Is it weird that I like the music that I picked out on all the background things? So I'm just like.
And it's not like Cecil really appreciates us keeping to time. Okay.
Yes.
Because of all the dogs that I have, he is the one that dislikes any of this. Any of my other dogs, we could deal with this. It's not Cecil.
Mm.
He hates it. Poor Cecil.
Or Cecil. So yeah. So if you're giving thoughts and prayers, include me in that, because
And your husband.
and my husband,
And your husband.
all right, because we're the ones that have to brave dachshund teeth to do this.
Yeah.
So
So do you think, as I bring up something that that Mary had no clue I was going to bring up, but is 100% on topic? Shocker. So do you think that a lot of the really small grooming shows can function as overlap? They can be a little more retreaty. That's not a word.
well, it is now.
It is now. Well, okay. I'm thinking of specifically the Teton show. And one of the things we're thinking of doing and we want to start letting people know about is in the mornings, like around breakfast time before the classes start, we want to do like a Reiki share, meditation, yoga, like a morning thing that's completely free, completely voluntary. But to me, that feels like something you would do in a retreat.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that
especially-
definitely sounds like it. It's
Yeah.
something that we're actually going to be doing, with ours too, just something to, start the day. We're discussing like different options, whether it's like meditation or possibly, depending on the dogs and their receptiveness to it, maybe doing some dog yoga, but I got to figure that one out first.
At least to the Teton show, since I'm driving, I could bring my singing bowls.
I'm packing at least one of my singing bowls, probably just that expensive brass one that's not here because it's already downstairs next to my suitcase because it's coming to Atlanta.
So it would not be a surprise to anyone is that my singing bowls are crystal singing bowls. So yeah, I've been wanting to bring them, but it's been, how do I want to phrase it? Not well received at the trade shows by trade show directors. Would that be?
Yes, and I know once or twice we did something like a morning meditation thing, but
it was on our own.
It had to be on our own. I think. Ooh. What do I? No, I want to shut my mouth. No, I think it's still seen as very kind of out there. So people are probably afraid of annoying mainstream. Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, I think it'd be similar if someone asked to do like a prayer circle on Sunday morning. I don't think they'd be receptive to that
Yeah, but
either.
I've seen gospel breakfasts on schedules. So yeah.
Yeah. Christine DiFilippo let
I
me
forgot
do,
about that.
yeah, Christine DiFilippo let me do a Reiki 1 class at Integrum one year. She
Mhm.
got hate mail over that.
Really? Whoa.
Why? I don't know. If you don't like it, then just don't go to the class. Go to a different
Don't
class.
go to class. That's really simple.
Yeah.
You know what? Even as a mobile groomer, I was never going to do show trims. It just wasn't going to happen in a mobile van, nor was I going to get a dog that required a show trim. So for me, going to classes that were like hand stripping or show trims just didn't appeal to me. I'm not sending hate mail to the trade show director,
Right.
well, that doesn't apply to me.
I'm an everyday pet groomer. That doesn't apply to me. How dare you? I think it's very misunderstood.
Yeah, I think it's misunderstood.
I think it's misunderstood. And the crazy thing is, oh, wow. This is, by the way, Alex, this is probably as controversial as our podcast has gotten, except for when we talk about ear plucking and anal glands. But I think I lost my train of thought. Because it's seen as fringe, it's not accepted. But people might go rah, 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 at things like gospel breakfasts being right there on the schedule on Sunday morning. But I don't think anyone would get hate mail because it's so mainstream.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
You know what? I think the trade shows might be surprised to realize, because you know what, our industry attracts all types of people.
Mhm.
Okay. I can remember I was at the only time I was ever at All American, and my daughter lived close by, so she brought me my birthday present, all right, which was a big hunk of rose quartz that had a nice little piece of black tourmaline running through it. And I had nowhere to put it. So I was holding it. All right. What else was I going to do with it? Okay. So basically, I'm walking around the show holding this huge piece of rose quartz because I don't know where else to put it. Okay. Daryl Connor comes up to me and she goes, "No one is surprised to see you walking around with a piece of rose quartz. Just saying." Okay. But the point that I make with that is that I would get messages on Facebook from people who were like, thanking me for doing that because they can't talk to other groomers about crystals or anything else that they do for fear of being ridiculed. And like, I don't care. Yeah.
yeah. Well, and I think that's like what's great about our community is because we're all like weirdos.
Yeah. I know.
And like not, like
Mhm.
even if we're not into someone else's thing or whatever, like for the most part, like, we're just like, all right, cool, do your thing. Cause like I have my weird like anime thing that I like, and like you probably aren't into that, but like whatever,
Christmas.
Old, yeah, no, old school anime. Absolutely. Absolutely. I somewhere in this house is a reverse blade katana. And I don't know if it was lost in the flood, but my husband got me at one point the necklace from it wasn't Yu Yu Hakusho? No, it was, what was the one with the priestess and the fox demon? Was that Yu Yu Hakusho? Somebody will tell me. Anyway,
in the comments.
yes.
Someone will comment on the episode.
Somebody will. My husband was into
yes.
early anime. In fact, one of our dogs was named Akira.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like I said, like I feel like nowadays, like that class was probably, a while ago when Christine still owned Intergroup.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I feel like the times now are definitely changing, and like people are way more accepting of other people's like different views and outlooks on life.
Yeah, that has got to be 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Really? Was that when you did the Reiki share afterwards?
Yes.
That was that long ago.
Yeah. Is that long?
I was there. I remember where I was chilling with Ricky.
Yes. Ricky the Reiki dog.
Oh, he loved it. He loved it.
Oh my God, that dog loved Reiki.
And I was still very new, so I was like, "Am I doing this right?" And Ricky's just like lying there, like yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm all looking at Mary, all like a little and nervous, going, "Is it?" And Mary's like, "He's not moving, is he? You're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine."
It's one thing about animals is they are like really clear. They love it or they don't. And if they don't love it, they're not hanging around for it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I have to hit one more button. And then I'll ask y'all if you want to go on a TMI journey. Mm-hmm. Everything else in the world seems to have changed. Positive Ed has too, but for the better. Online learning is here to stay, and Positive Educational Training has brought the trade show to you with Summit memberships. For one monthly price of $97, you get 6 to 10 hours of content streamed live to your sofa, or let's be honest, grooming table. Forgot to attend live? No problem. You have 6 weeks to watch at your convenience. That's 3 weeks more than non-members, and for up to $50 less than non-members paid. With a monthly support call and summits tailored to the pet industry and designed to include all learning styles, what are you waiting for? Check out positiveed.com today and get the support you need to take action in your business.
Before you go into what you're going to talk about, something just to make mention to Nick, okay? The possibility of adding in like some virtual classes to the trade show. So for say, like for people who don't like want to fly into Chicago in January.
That's something, that we're looking for input, for next year to make it even better. We've sent out like a survey, to all of the attendees and stuff. But that's, definitely a good idea. And we're wanting to offer more seminars. We only did one within the Whitmans Grooming Expo, but we're looking to combine, our seminars with what the AKC was doing with their seminars as well for next year, and to be able to hopefully maybe like have one of the rooms like for the Grooming Expo, so that we can hold some more seminars. We did do the Pet Tech CPR seminar with Misty. We actually held it twice. That one's not really one to do online though, since there's like
no. And you may or may not have received an attachment in your Facebook Messenger.
Is that what pinged in the middle?
That's what pinged in the middle of recording. I'm so professional. I felt bad because I saw that little look of panic on your face, like, oh God, there was a ping, and we're sorry. That was me, Mary.
Well, I closed my browser after that. And I think the panic was like, if I close my browser, is that going to close me out of Zoom? Okay, no, it's not.
Okay. Okay, good.
That was that moment of panic.
Live Googling stuff, okay?
Oh yeah. We live Google because and here's where Mary's complete neurotypical and my not meet perfectly is at must Google now for information.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, oh, must Google now for information. And Mary just wants to know Absolutely. She's like, well, let's find out the correct answer to this because she has to know correctly. So it's a beautiful, beautiful meeting place. But
Yes, I'm just Googling the thing and not going down a rabbit hole. Okay.
yeah, I will then.
Oh
Anyway,
no, I'm definitely the rabbit hole.
yeah. So,
All is later. Okay.
so we normally end on a very weird, not always very weird. We normally end on something positive or happy or odd, but uh have you heard of that medicine Ozempic that's apparently all over because it's being used as a weight loss drug, and it was originally for diabetes, and now people are using it for weight loss because it's super, super effective? Okay, that's a big no.
No.
But I didn't realize that apparently it was a thing until another one of my medications that I have to be on spiked my A1C like badly and pumped me into the diabetic range with the A1C.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, and my doctor was freaked out because she's like, okay, I know you've gained some weight, but it just like in a matter of months, it didn't like creep up. It didn't like every visit. She was like, we should know it was normal. And then it was boom, high. So I asked about it because I had read an article, and she's like, absolutely, you're a candidate for that because it helps to control sugar. So, and it's an injectable. So once a week I give myself it's not a bad shot. It's not like you make a face like, no, when people think of injectable, you think of a big needle, right?
Yeah.
It's like a pinprick the way they have it. Like it just barely, I thought it was going to hurt. It did not hurt. So, so we can go on this crazy journey of how does it work? How does it work? What happens? What side effects is Chris going to have? And apparently there's a difference between feeling hungry and being hungry. Because on my way home from work, and I usually come home starving.
Yeah.
On my way home from work, my husband's like, do you want me to take your leftovers out of the fridge to like warm up a little bit so you can nuke them faster? And I'm like, I don't know. I guess I'm not hungry. Like, you may as well take them out because I know I have to eat something, but I'm not hungry. Within 10 minutes of me being home, I went from, no, not hungry, to my stomach went, and tried to eat itself hungry. I'm like, what happened there? Yeah. And that's after one day. So I don't have
you don't want to see me hungry because I get real hangry. Like I have to remind myself to eat sometimes.
Mary? That would be Mary.
Yeah.
And the height.
If I'm telling you I'm hungry, you literally have, I don't know, about 15 minutes just to get out.
Oh,
yeah.
A couple years ago when Groomed was APF. So
I was
we were supposed to go out to dinner. What was that?
I was so mad at you guys. I literally wanted to knock you out of the car.
We had to go to the opening party because we absolutely had to, and it was, show our face. But at these parties, there are drink tickets. Not only do I enjoy the occasional alcoholic beverage, but I really enjoy the free ones. Okay. They just taste better. So Mary is trying to hurry us up. There may or may not have been free drink tickets. We're trying to bring a drink into the car, and she's like, you get that out of my car. So what happens? You don't.
Oh, no. From a different perspective.
Uh-huh.
We'll be down in 5 minutes. Okay. I'm hungry. I haven't had dinner yet. Okay. 5 minutes turns into half hour. You guys coming? 5 minutes. We're on our way. Half hour later. So we're into an hour.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Look,
so now I'm at my get your butts down to this car now, or you can find yourself another way to get.
I would have
And
left.
Still, well, I was trying to be nice.
Trying to leave that type of event is like the Midwestern goodbye. Okay.
She kept me, they, not just her.
Oh no,
They
it
kept me
wasn't just me.
waiting an hour and 15 minutes before I threatened to go in there and yank him out.
Now,
Okay?
I would like to point out in our defense,
An
there
hour
was
and 15 minutes. But go ahead.
free
Your defense is
food.
what?
You could have walked your
You
butt in there.
told me 5 minutes.
You believed us. I don't know
why?
what to say. You believed us.
Why? Or you could have
You
just
believed
put me down a snack so that I could have, like, I don't know.
Wasn't that the time Dawn had the hunk of cheese in her
Oh my
purse?
God, she had a freaking wheel of cheese in her purse.
She,
And not a wheel, not a wheel, a wheel.
no,
Oh
she,
my God.
because they put out a cheese board, but randomly there was like she just grabbed it and stuck it in
Oh
her
my
purse.
God.
That was epic. That was epic. See, so we did bring you food.
So yeah.
Oh
So
God.
they were lucky I waited, because I was at the point that I was like, because Beth was in the car with me. I said, they literally have 30 seconds and I'm leaving. And then
And that's when we walked out. That's when we walked out. Okay.
then I
Cecil
had to
needs
still-
meds.
And still, I had to like get them into the car, because apparently walking from the door to the car was still a bit of a project for them.
I don't remember why.
You were drunk. That would be why.
I wasn't drunk.
Oh,
I was
oh, no.
pleasantly relaxed.
Oh, no, you were way past relaxed.
I didn't feel way past relaxed. I
No,
felt
you
like
were way past. It was hurting cats. Okay.
well,
Literally had to get out of the car and guide them to my car, take the drink out of the hand and put the drink on the little
oh, I don't know. That was somebody else. You did not manage to get a drink out of my hand. That would be if you tried, I downed
oh
it.
no, there was all the drinks were on the planter in front of the convention center.
I finished mine. I'm not a
It
quitter.
might have been you might have downed it, but all the glasses were on
The
the
glasses was
Oh
there.
my God.
I'm just saying I'm not a quitter. Anyway,
planter. Okay.
if we had more time, we would tell you about the Fremont Street, which was true herding cats.
Oh yeah. Let me go give my dog his meds,
Anyway,
and we'll talk
guys,
air on that.
yeah. Alex, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for
Awesome,
inviting me.
amazing. And I'm going to hit one more button so then Mary can stop hitting record. But thank you and have fun, Cecil.
Well, that was fun, but now it's time to head home. We hope you enjoyed listening as much as we enjoyed chatting with you. If there are any topics you'd like us to discuss or guests you want to see join us on this crazy road trip of ours, let us know in the Traveling Groomers Facebook page. Don't forget to thank our sponsors. And see you next week, guys. Safe travels.